All right. Source Code is directed by Duncan Jones, who this is his follow-up to his independent science fiction movie he made last year called Moon, a movie I really enjoyed. I think we both really enjoyed that. Yes. We reviewed that last year. This is kind of his foray into sort of blockbuster Hollywood filmmaking. But it does still thematically, I think, have sort of its similar roots that Moon had, and some of the same ideas that movie brought up. And basically what we have here is kind of like Quantum Leap meets Groundhog Day with maybe a little 12 Monkeys thrown in. Coulter Stevens is a military Marine who played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who had the last thing that he remembers is he was in a helicopter accident, and now he is weirdly transported into this train where he's in the middle of a conversation with a girl he's never met, played by Michelle Monaghan. And when that goes terribly awry, when the train explodes, he awakes yet in another strange location with a screen of another military figure named Goodwin, played by Vera Farmiga, who's telling him that he has to keep going back to this situation, this 7-minute situation where he's supposed to discover and find a bomb so that they can take care of it in an alternate reality. It gets weird. And so basically what this movie is this same 7-minute situation played out in as many different ways as possible. He's deducing what this mystery is and who's the person who set the bomb, where is the bomb, how can he do this in such a small amount of time, as well as also try and figure out what happened to him, since nobody's answering his questions and he's wondering why he's on this train and who is he and all of these things. So there's a lot to take care of, and what's impressive about this screenplay is that it manages to do this all very tightly and very well constructed. The movie never meanders, it never feels flabby. It's a lean, gets to the point kind of screenplay, but it still manages to develop the characters, keep you guessing the whole time, and it has almost sort of a Hitchcockian sort of sense of claustrophobic, smaller settings, and he manages to sort of, I would imagine this is probably like a $20 to $40 million movie, kind of mid-budget, but he manages to use his money well, and he's just a very smart director. And if you liked Moon, I think this is a good jumping off point from there, and I'm excited to see what Duncan Jones does in the future. So I give this movie an A, possibly still my favorite movie of the year.
Wow. Well liked, is it? All right. Let's see, I forgot what I gave it. All right. Well, I was a little bit more picky.
Okay.
Well, I did like it. I have to admit, the pace was perfect. I was really worried because I've seen movies where they go back and over, like Groundhog, and you go over the same scenario over and over. And after about the fourth time through, I was like, oh crap, I better not do this again. But then it mixes it up about. I think they pushed me just to my limit of when I was like, I better not see the same scene over again. So I was a little worried about it, but it was good. My big problem with this one is I thought it was I went to it thinking action movie, and then you get kind of a sci-fi thriller. Yeah. And I was like, oh, all right. So I got disappointed, but it happens. I was still enjoying the movie. But after the movie Deja Vu, it kept falling back to that, and I was like, oh, this seems familiar to that Denzel Washington movie. I had to go look it up. I forgot the name. Only good Denzel Washington sci-fi movie, Virtuosity. Right. But so anyway, I kept reflecting back to that, and I really didn't like the girl in it, like the relationship that the character was having, and then the girl. It was like
Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, Michelle Monaghan. I was like, I don't know. I didn't find she was the one that I felt the least brought least to the movie, even though her character was essential to the other to Gyllenhaal's main plot line. I was kind of like, oh, okay, but
well, usually in these kinds of movies, the romance aspect of it usually can feel very forced, and I usually kind of hate that. But I felt like they did manage to use her in a specific way, and she mechanically fit into the story, so that it wasn't just like let's have a romance to
We
fit
have to
that
have
angle.
romance to be a blockbuster. So, all right. So I gave it a B. More because I enjoyed it. It was a great one. I'll probably watch it again sometime.
Yeah.
Especially after your review, I'll be like, oh, I should probably rewatch that. But
Well, did you kind of notice some of the similarities it had with Moon in the aspect that it's kind of this one main character, male character, who has this kind of existential crisis and is trying to figure sort of himself out while he's trying to figure out what's going on at the same time?
Yes, I did see
It's interesting to see Duncan Jones, this young new director, David Bowie's son, in case nobody knows that, who he's already kind of building an auteurship, and hopefully it almost sort of reminds me of Christopher Nolan in a way. Like he has these kind of puzzle box sort of movies and stuff. So I'm really interested to see where he keeps going, especially as he keeps making bigger and bigger projects.
Nice. Get more money.
More money.